Hi, welcome back to Health Score. Today we're in the topic of nutrition and we're talking about foods to eat, and in particular, coffee and green tea. The health benefits the recommendation is to drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee, regular or decaf, per day, or 5 to 7 cups of regular or decaffeinated green tea each day. The evidence for this recommendation is in 2 separate trials, one for coffee and one for tea. And you can see the benefit of coffee in the blue line, with the x-axis being cups and the y-axis being reduction in mortality. For coffee, the maximal benefit occurred at 3 to 5 8-ounce cups of coffee compared to not drinking coffee at all. And for green tea, the maximal benefit occurred at 5 to 7 cups of green tea. What is the mechanism for the benefit? Well, there are several components in both coffee and green tea. Coffee actually is the number one source of antioxidants in the American diet. And the various compounds in coffee include chlorogenic acid, lignans, quinoids, trigonelline, and magnesium. All of these are purported to reduce insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is when, after a diet that's caused chronic elevations in blood sugar and chronic elevations in insulin, the cells are no longer responding to insulin. This is a common pathway for developing obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. So anything that improves the sensitivity of the cells to insulin has long-term health effects and benefits. These compounds are also shown to reduce systemic inflammation. Green tea has a lot of the same antioxidants, and the polyphenols in particular have been shown to reduce risk of both heart disease and cancer. So, how to adopt these recommendations? First of all, let's define a serving: 8 ounces of either coffee or green tea. And I want to be clear, decaf is just as good as regular. So, the benefits of coffee and green tea are not in the caffeine. And if it's too much caffeine for you to drink in any day, then you can always substitute with decaf, especially when you don't have adequate sleep or you have non-restorative sleep. Caffeine is not recommended within 6 hours of bedtime. So for me, for example, um, I will not drink coffee after 2 p.m., knowing that I'll be going to bed at 10 p.m. But if I wanted to have coffee or green tea later, I could substitute with decaf. I also look at each of these as it's an either or combination effect. So I wouldn't recommend getting both the recommended amount of coffee and the recommended amount of green tea. It's just basically, I think there's a lot of common benefits to those and not unique benefits to each of them, to the antioxidants you're getting in these drinks. For me, what I do is I'll have 16 ounces of coffee that I pour over half of a Nalgene of ice. So I'll put water in a Nalgene, 16 ounces, and put that in my freezer overnight. And then in the morning, I'll pour 16 ounces of hot coffee on that, and I'll sip basically iced coffee throughout the morning. And then sometime before 2, I'll have an afternoon coffee of 8 ounces. So that is how I get to 8 ounces 3 times a day, or 24 ounces of coffee. Other ways of doing it are to just steep green tea bags in water and use that as your beverage throughout the day. Many ideas. I would recommend that you be careful if you don't add sugar or even honey to coffee or green tea. Added sugar has problems that we'll discuss in other sections. Otherwise, this is a very enjoyable recommendation. People, don't hesitate to meet me on this one. If sleep is an issue, then I do recommend decaf or backing off the time that you have coffee in the day so that you're not drinking it within 6 hours of bedtime. Hope these tips are useful to you and you're able to adopt them and you're able to improve your health. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.